welcome back to the channel. I'm Hank Strange. This is StrangerPalooza. Lola and I just got back from Orlando from the Electrify Expo, which was our first time going out there, and it was awesome. But today, what we want to talk to you guys about is the new Rivian R2. So if you're into electric cars, well, this is kind of, I'm going to put this as like kind of a SUV crossover kind of thing. And it's brand new. It's not even being manufactured yet. And we got a close-up look at it. We didn't get to drive it, but I'm gonna share my thoughts on the Rivian R2 with you guys right now. A little bit of background for you guys if you're new to the channel here. We do van life here at StrangerPalooza, but we do cover other things. Lola and I are into electric cars. We own a Tesla Model X Plaid, as well as that van back there is actually a Ford E-Transit. So that's an electric van as well. So that's where our interest comes for electric vehicles. And, you know, StrangerPalooza is where we talk about cars. So Rivian, I've been following them for a while. We actually own a couple of shares of Rivian stock. Whenever it's down at a good low price, we get some of it. We also own Tesla as well. Now, here's the thing. Rivian is, to me, and in this video, I'll roll in some stuff for you guys. I got to test drive the Rivian R1S, which is the SUV. Lola did test drive the R1T, which is the pickup truck. And maybe I'll roll some of that in too, but I shot that really to be a short. But let me see, how can I put this to you guys? So the R2 from Rivian is kind of the entry-level point, I think, for folks out there with Rivian. Typically, if you're looking either at the SUV or the pickup truck, you're probably looking at $70,000, $80,000, $90,000, depending on the configuration of what you do.
It would work best for you.
Right, okay. Oh yeah.
That's 800 horsepower for you.
Right, nice. The R1S that I drove was a quad motor, probably, you know, above 80 grand for that thing, but it was awesome, very powerful, very nicely done. I think compared to Tesla, Rivian builds what I was telling Lola is like heirloom quality vehicles, in my opinion, right? Like well built, nice fittings, nice metal touches, highlights, and things like that on it. When you're inside, you feel quality. It's very quiet, and you can just feel and touch things and feel like, oh, this, you know, this is something that's worth $80,000 plus. Now, but the price point, I think, has kept a lot of people out of it. So the R2 is kind of like a shrunk down version. I think they said it's something like 70%, maybe 75% of the size of the big SUV. And it's coming out in 2 years, so it's not out right now. What we're looking at is a prototype. In this video, they did not let us sit in it, they did not let us drive it, but we got to look at what it looks like. And also, we moved around the show. They had the R1S, they had the R1T there, they had versions with like a, you know, tent on it, with the pickup truck, all kinds of different ways that people do the pickup truck. The show, the Electrify Expo, I think was pretty awesome. And it was our first time going, but I would definitely go back next year. So you guys might want to check that out. They had lots of different electric vehicles, hybrids, and stuff like that there at the show. Just to speak to the R2 itself, you know, I know there's folks out there that are interested in my opinion on it. So I think that it's a nice entry level. The price point when it comes out in 2 years is what I would call mid-level, right? Because people are looking for like a $20,000, $25,000, maybe $30,000 electric vehicle. And this one at 45 is somewhere in the mid-level. So if you live in the city and you don't need a big SUV or a big truck, this would work for you. Maybe if you want to get something for your kids, or you were young, just starting out your family, like back when Lola and I first got married, and maybe we had like one baby on the way, or the kids are young and stuff like that. Something in this size works. So far as quality compared to what Rivian does, I think that the quality's still there. There's just a few of the bells and whistles that are not inside of it. So you don't have necessarily all those different metal touches and things like that in it, but it still looks like a Rivian, and the quality from the prototype of what I see looks good. I think you cannot get quad motor, but you can do either dual motor or tri-motor, get 3 motors in there. So, you know, quad motor, all of the motors cost money. So probably the most affordable version of this is going to be a dual motor, or maybe at some point they'll do a single motor in there. So it looks really good in my opinion, and I could see why there's so many people out there that are really excited about them. I think if you look in the whole space of the electric cars, the legacy auto manufacturers are way, way behind if you compare. The big boy right now is Tesla, right? I think Tesla is doing build quality better. And of course, their supercharging network and the software and even the safety is top notch. After Tesla, in my opinion, comes Rivian. Rivian's doing very good quality, also very safe. So, and the software is, I think the software expertise is there as well for Rivian. If you compare that now to legacy automotive, like anything in the Volkswagen group, software is crap. The vehicles might be nice. If you look at other folks out there building stuff, Ford, for example, I think is trying really hard, right? They're gonna have an adapter out really soon that you can use the Tesla supercharging network, or at least most of it, if not all of it. And that's a bonus to Ford, but I don't think that Ford or anyone else that's really building electric cars, in my opinion, especially if you want something made in America, I don't think they're coming up to the level of Rivian or Tesla. I really do wish, though, that Rivian had gotten into the North American charging standard earlier. They should have beat Ford into that, because that would be a huge bonus or a huge motivator for someone like myself to buy a Rivian. If the Cybertruck didn't exist, I'll be all about a Rivian, but I probably would have what's already out, an R1T or an R1S, you know, quad motor, that's what I would have. But the Cybertruck is out and coming out and being manufactured, so that's what I would do. But I think for people out there who are interested in this, for maybe, you know, you want to get this for your spouse, or you guys live in the city, you don't have a lot of space to park, all that kind of stuff. You don't need anything that big. You're not looking for something expensive. I think Rivian's a good way to go. And out of all the electric car manufacturers, I would say you're good going down that path. Everyone else is really, we're waiting for them to catch up and do over-the-air updates and all that kind of stuff. If you don't like Tesla for some political reason or whatever other, you don't like Elon Musk or whatever, Rivian's an option. And I think that's why there were 2 things at the show that everyone was looking at. They were looking at the Cybertruck. Okay, we couldn't get close to the Cybertruck at this show, although, we've driven it, or I've driven it and all that. And they were looking at the R2, which wasn't there on Saturday, but it was there today, which today's Sunday. So I'm gonna try to, I don't know how many minutes I'm at, Lola.
You're at 8:25.
8 minutes. Okay, so I'm gonna try to just wrap this up now, because I don't want to make a super long video for you guys. But while I'm talking here, you don't get to see my beautiful face. I'll just roll in some video of the R2, as well as some video of myself out there driving the Rivian R1S. It was really a lot of fun to go to this show and talk to people, not only at Rivian, we spoke to people at Ford, at Tesla, I think Toyota. We spoke to a lot of folks, and I was really impressed by the Electrify Expo. I think if you look up the stats, California is probably the biggest for electric cars, and second to that is Florida, where we're at. And there's not a lot of incentives here for people to get electric cars, but there's a lot of electric cars in Florida. They work great here. We have pretty good temperatures here. so you don't have to worry about that. There's lots of charging places to charge, and you know, I think about 70% of our electricity comes from compressed natural gas. So, you know, that's better than if you were getting it from diesel or fuel, if you're worried about saving the planet. So Florida is the second biggest place for electric vehicles, and I was very happy to see that there were so many people that came out to the show, right, Lola?
Oh yeah, tons of people from all walks of life, you know, young and old.
Yeah, young and old. It was awesome to see that. It was awesome to see how excited people are. We even ran into Drake, who, if you guys saw my video I did where I was driving the dual motor version of the Cybertruck as well as the Cyberbeast. So Drake, who owns that dual motor, the one that was vinyl wrapped on a matte black, we just ran into him at the show. We were hanging out with him. We also ran into some folks that I know from the RV side, because there was an RV show going on in Orlando. So shout out to everyone. Hope you guys enjoy this stuff. Let me know what you think about the R2. Are you excited for that? You like Rivian better? You like Tesla better? You hate electric cars altogether? I like electric cars because lots of power. Okay, I like not having to go to a gas station and put gas in there. I can charge up at home, and if I'm traveling, I like the ability to be able to get on a reliable charging network. So even, you know, that's why I really like Tesla. But Rivian, the folks at Rivian told us that they are working on an adapter that'll be coming out soon, and you'll be able to charge up at Tesla superchargers. So that's it. I'm gonna cut it off here. Big thanks to Lola for doing all this, even though we just drove home and she's tired and all that kind of stuff. Shout out to you guys. Plenty more van stuff coming here. We got a lot of van footage, videos, and all that coming your way. But I do know there's some folks that enjoy this stuff. So anyway, we're out of here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.